Hey lads, what? Why do we wear blue uniforms again? It's because we want to stand out and yeah, but like, do you remember France in World War One? Yeah, what about them? I mean, I'm no historian, but like, didn't they realise that they didn't work very well because they could be easily seen even though they used blue to make it seem like they're invisible running across no man's land because of the sky? Yeah, but they won the war though, so that doesn't even matter. Yeah, but they changed their uniforms to khaki after the war instead of blue. Well then, that just makes our blue uniforms stand out even more. Yeah, that's the thing, like, isn't that bad, though? No, we wear our blue uniforms with pride. Let me tell you something, son. We Italians are the most fashionable people in the world. We are the home of Prada, Gucci, Versace, Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, and so many more. We lead the world in fashion, and we shall show that on the battlefield. If we die in style. Forza Italia! Yeah, that's all well and good, fam, but like, the Allies are gonna see us in the desert, you know, because we're blue, desert's yellow, and then they'll shoot us because we stand out. You know what I'm saying, fam? Stop being such a Debbie Downer and wear your Italian uniform with pride. Do I smell a traitor? No, I do wear it with pride, but like, don't get me wrong, we're in the middle of the desert, but we just don't blend in at all, and didn't you hear me, ragazzo? I said Forza Italia! Right, well, I don't know if saying "I told you so" is appropriate in this situation, because, you know, you can't hear me anymore. How's it going, humans of the world? My name is Major McDonald's, or Unadjectivable, and you're watching another Enlisted video. In fact, you're actually watching another Enlisted Premium Squad review video. This time of the Axis version of the Moroccan squad that the Allies have, but, you know, they aren't Moroccan, they're Italian, so, like, I guess they're not the Axis version of the Moroccans, because, well, they lack any resemblance to Moroccans, and they wear different uses. In today's video, we're going through the ups and downs of the new Tunisia Axis campaign Premium Squad, namely the Fursk, Jesus Christ, Fursk. That's not even a thing. What Fursk? There's no K in what I'm about to say. I'm so confused, dude. Namely, the 1st San Marco Regiment, 3rd Battalion, Tobruk. As always, I'll talk a little bit about the history of the squad, because you should know at least a little bit about the regiment you're opting to buy with your own money. Then I'll talk about the squad's contents and power, fun and uniqueness before giving my concluding thoughts. So, let's begin. Looking at the squad description in game, it says you can trace back its history to 19. There's no 19 in that, fam. What am I trying to say? 1713 as part of the Italian Marines force, which makes it a really historically significant regiment. Looking at the oh so reliable Wikipedia page for the regiment, these skilled sailors and marksmen fought in the wars of Italian independence, the Boxer Rebellion in China, and the Italo-Turkish War. In World War I, it was called the Brigata Marina, meaning Naval Brigade, and fought on the Alpine front against the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It also fought in the defence of Venice after the famous Battle of Caporetto in 1917, where the Italian front had almost collapsed, but the regiment led the Italians to victory at the Battle of the Piave River. After the war, the city presented a flag with the Lion of St. Mark. God, I don't know if you can hear that, but they literally just started drilling outside as soon as I started this. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh, they've stopped now. As soon as I complain about it, they stop. Calm. Nice. Cheers for that. After the war, the city presented a flag with the Lion of St. Mark from Venice's coat of arms to the regiment, and the naval brigade was then renamed the San Marco Brigade because of this, as well as the Italian ship that was sunk which had the same name, San Marco, in the war. St. Mark, San Marco, get it? Before World War II, the San Marco Battalion is the only thing that existed, and a special unit of it was sent to Tianjin in China and stayed there until it was taken prisoner by the Japanese in 1943, only when Italy turned and declared war on the Axis powers towards the end of the war. The battalion itself served during the Abyssinian War in the 1930s. At the start of World War II, it increased in size and carried out landings on several islands in the Adriatic Sea when Yugoslavia was attacked by Italy. Some were also trained as parachutists before the desert battles of 1943. The 3rd Battalion of the San Marco Regiment, the one that you actually use in game, became known as the Tobruk Battalion, as it repelled big landings by British commandos at the city of the same name. It also fought in Tunisia, defending the Mareth line in 1943. However, it was outflanked, and the Tobruk Battalion was later destroyed. Yeah. It's not, you know, a positive thing, I guess, for the squad. Later destroyed sounds a bit harsh, you know, like, but that's actually what it says, so, you know, destroyed, Jesus Christ, was later destroyed in April 1943, defending a line near Wadi Akarit by the British and Gurkha units, killing any San Marco survivors due to their anger from the Tobruk battalion inflicting very heavy casualties on the combined British and Gurkha forces. German General Hans-Jürgen von Arnim later said of the San Marco Marines' fighting abilities in Tunisia in 1943 that they were the best soldiers I ever commanded. Well, pretty nuts, pretty nuts praise. Hey, they might be the best soldiers, but they got destroyed, so yeah. Bit unfortunate that. After Italy's surrender, many San Marco Marines fought for the Allies against the Germans, but the 4th Battalion in particular fought for the Axis until the end of the war. What happened to them after World War II then? Does this regiment still exist? The regiment was reformed in 1965 in Venice, and was the reason Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia requested the Italians to move the unit away, as it appeared aggressive to his nation during the Italian-Yugoslav tensions of Trieste and Istria. The Italian was then moved to Brindisi in southern Italy, and integrated completely into the Italian Navy, I guess officially becoming actual Marines then. Finally. From 1982 to 84, the San Marco Battalion took part in international UN peacekeeping missions in Lebanon, but since has been deployed to the Persian Gulf, Somalia, Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, East Timor, Eritrea, and Iraq, showing that combined with its past, this unit has been pretty much all over the world, apart from, the Americas. And that shows its prominence still today, being part of the larger San Marco Marine Brigade now, as the 1st San Marco Marine Regiment. But as always, there's some controversy with every single regiment, and for this unit it derives mostly from the fact that recently in 2012, 2 Marines from the regiment are currently under trial in India for allegedly shooting dead 2 Indian fishermen near Kerala in India, which has soured Italo-Indian relations still today. So, wow, make of that what you will. But now moving on to the squad itself, it is actually very similar to the Allies' Moroccan squad that I reviewed in my last video, which I will leave a link to at the top right of the video screen now. I won't go into as much detail about the quality of the perks and how you can change them, because I already did that in the Moroccan squad video and recommend you go and watch that one. But to quickly sum up more or less what I said there, the perks you get are really good. But not only that, you can customize the perks by using retraining points because you get 5 free ones. You also get the option to upgrade them to rank 5, but their perks at rank 4 are ridiculous already because they can get plus 35% vitality at rank 4, which is nuts, to be honest. Instead though, I'll quickly move on to the weapons and equipment, and I strongly recommend you once again watch that Moroccan video to learn more about what you can do with these soldier perks, as they are the exact same as in the San Marco squad. The unique weapon that all 9 members of this squad receive is the Moschetto M91, where Moschetto, funnily enough, actually means musket in Italian, even though it isn't really a musket, it's just a Carcano, to be honest. The Moschetto M91 is described in-game as a short version of the already in-game Carcano M1891 with a fixed holding bayonet. In contrast to the Moroccan bolt-action rifle, this Moschetto is actually a decent weapon to use and is quite powerful, but when you start considering the other weapons that the Axis in Tunisia currently have access to, and at what levels it becomes available, it becomes less of a good weapon in the opportunity cost sense. This may already be evident because of its description, that it is a version of the Carcano M1891, and when we compare them, we see that a Carcano M1891, even at 3 stars, is nearly as good as the Moschetto, which you pay for, as you already get the Moschetto at 5 stars, and never get it at less than 5 stars, and that we will naturally use its 5-star stats to compare it against other weapons. And when we do, we see that the hit power is ever so slightly better than the Carcano M1891, with pretty much equal range drop-off, a slightly higher rate of fire, the same reload speed, worse vertical and horizontal recoil, the same magazine size and the same weight. If the Carcano M1891, I'm specifying the Carcano M1891 a lot because there are many different Carcanos in the game, so it makes sense to, stick to one that everyone can really track, was 5-star, it would suddenly have better hit power and the same rate of fire than the Moschetto. Though the Carcano M1891 is the best bolt-action rifle that the Tunisia Axis currently have access to, we can confirm that the Moschetto is better than the default Car 98K weapon every soldier is given by default, and the Carcano M41 at all stars, which is reassuring to see for the Moschetto. However, analysing the Carcano Mod 38 7.35mm caliber at 3 stars, we see once again that it is only ever so slightly worse than the Moschetto, and a 5-star Carcano Mod 38 7.35mm caliber could be argued as better than the Moschetto, due to it having higher hit power, the same rate of fire, better reload speed, pretty much the same recoil, the same magazine size, and the same weight. In conclusion, against the currently available unstable bolt actions, the Mosquito is actually not very powerful when you take those into consideration, especially for the late game. The Mosquito is better for the early game Tunisia Axis campaign when you don't have all these weapons at rank 5 or haven't unlocked the better rifles yet. It's also better in the early game for the plus 100% XP gain from using the squad to help you level up quicker, and then you can access the better weapons with that. So it's got another reason, that you should get the squad, I guess. But that being said, you can unlock the Carcano Mod 38 at only level 4 and the M1891 at only level 9. To achieve these levels, you really only need to play a few different games. They're quite easy to get at early levels. That means that 2 weapons that you can upgrade to be better than the Mosquito for free are actually unlocked really early on in the campaign. And to rub salt in the wounds, the Axis unlocked the Armaguerra Mod 39, the first semi-auto rifle for the Axis in Tunisia, at only level 12. In the Allies' campaign in Tunisia, the M1 Garand, the first semi-auto unlocked, is only available at level 25, meaning that the Moroccan Berthier rifle that we reviewed extensively in the Moroccan squad review has much more versatility and will stay very relevant throughout all campaign levels, as well as the fact that it is the best bolt action in Tunisia for the Allies anyway. But for the Axis, the Armaguerra being unlocked really early on means any relevance the Mosquito might have had will pretty much be eradicated very quickly in the campaign. And after level 12, you'd probably want to equip all of your soldiers with the Armaguerra anyway and not use Mosquitoes. Remember, you cannot give this San Marco premium squad any other weapons apart from those you pick up in game from dead corpses, so you are stuck with the Mosquito for these blue uniformed troops. The one good thing that the Mosquito does have is a bayonet, which you cannot remove, but the Moroccan squad did not have one of those, and bayonets are often very good in melee situations, so this is a major plus side, as it does more damage than any normal melee knife, killing in one hit almost always, whilst also adding realism and fun to the weapons. However, this then does beg the question why the devs decided to include a unique San Marco knife to their kit, when you would probably never use it due to the really useful bayonet on the end of the Mosquito itself. And it also begs the question why the troops are by default given the plus 100% melee weapon damage in their perk tree, like the Moroccan squad, when the bayonet would kill any trooper with one thrust anyway. But luckily you can actually change that perk, so I guess it's not that bad. The Mosquito also has 1 extra bullet in the mag than the Moroccan squad to take each mag to 6 bullets, and while this is actually a very good thing, in the grand scheme of things this makes very little difference when all the other Axis bolt action weapons in Tunisia have at least 6 bullets per mag too. So really it's kind of just the same, keeping consistency. I like it. Consistency is key from Gaijin there. I also review the rest of the equipment, which is the same as in the Moroccan squad once again in the Moroccan squad video, so do watch that for more detail about what you get and what you can do. But I'll cover some of the basics quickly here. You get a large backpack for free on all of your soldiers, allowing you to carry up to 4 med packs on each one of them, and you also get 3 med packs per soldier for free, with space for adding 1 more. Similarly, you get a free explosive pack on every soldier, which is very useful and better than a standard hand grenade that they might have given you in other premium squads. Remember, you can unequip all of these and give these to other soldiers if you're not using this premium squad at any time, therefore saving on bronze orders. The unique thing you get here is the melee weapon, the San Marco dagger. It's very nice to have a unique melee weapon, and it adds to the immersion experience and unique feeling you can have with a squad, but it does feel and look very much the same as the standard knives that you get on every non-premium squad soldier by default. It might feel as though it does more damage in game, but once again, like the Moroccan squads, you must remember that the soldiers have plus 100% melee weapon damage perk by default, so keep that in mind. So, how does this squad feel in game? Well, about as you'd expect, but with a blue uniform. It said the Mosquito was a short version of the Carcano, and well, it feels like it. The scope, sights and sounds of the weapon are very similar, if not the same, to any of the other Carcano weapons, which are also very similar to each other anyway, so, consistency again. I also find myself a lot less accurate with this weapon, but that's not the weapon's fault. I just am often less accurate with Italian weapons anyway, and I think it's to do with the scopes across those Italian weapons, as I'm not used to the different types of Italian weapons as scopes, and scopes are a big thing in Enlisted, because if weapons are very similar, it often comes down to which scope you are most comfortable using. This weapon's scope may not be my thing, but it might be amazing for other people. The weapon is very useful though in many situations due to its rate of fire, as you will see in a second on the gameplay footage. The soldier battle cries are also the same as the normal Italian soldier battle shouts, which I expected I guess, but I'm not disappointed because I love the Italian soldier shouts anyway. Once again, perhaps the best part of the squad comes down to its unique uniforms. You definitely stand out in battle, for better or for worse, and teammates and enemies alike will be jealous of your style. Though it genuinely does make you easier to spot on the battlefield, if you are a good player, it should make very little difference, if any. But now, as always, you get to judge for yourself with some raw, no commentary gameplay footage. And after this footage, which if you want to you can skip using the timestamps on the timeline of the video that I've put there for you, I'll give my conclusions and rank it for myself, but hopefully this gameplay will allow you to make up your mind too. Ci vediamo tra pochi minuti ragazzi. Hey, I actually got the language right this time. Come on, dude.
La vittoria sarà nostra! Forza!
Benvenuti alla parte conclusiva del video. I Google translated that, so if that sounds weird to any of you native Italians out there, don't blame me. Blame Google. Anyway, in my opinion, it's an interesting squad which has great historical backing to its use, looks really cool on the battlefield, and the gun feels really cool to use. But aspects such as repeated Italian shouts, names and faces of soldiers, very similar weapons to free Carcanos, the dagger not looking particularly different to the free knives, and the fact that the current Tunisia Axis campaign allows you to unlock potentially better weapons than the Moschetto very early on, altogether mean it's difficult to strongly recommend this squad. If you are a history buff out there, I would recommend this squad to you due to the unique weapon, knife, uniform, accurate to the real life World War II regiment. But perhaps the biggest downside, which is the same as the Moroccan squad's biggest downside, is that it is also a very expensive one, sitting at just below 2,500 gold, which makes it even less appealing. You can get 2,500 gold and a bit extra for 24.99 euros in the enlisted gold store, so approximately that's the price of this squad. The majority of premium squads currently I wouldn't say are worth the money, mostly because they are so expensive, but also because they lack versatility in terms of what you can do with them, i.e. change troop types, weapons and equipment, and lack power to justify a price tag regardless. Therefore, I try to exclude the price tag in most of my premium squad reviews from clouding any objective facts and opinions on the squad itself, which is what I base my reviews from. The price will usually just restrict me from giving any squad a 10 out of 10, which in my scale would mean buy immediately. All that said and done, my score for this squad is 7 out of 10, slotting it on the leaderboard a few points below the Moroccan squad, which the Allies have in Tunisia. It's not a bad squad in the slightest, this San Marco squad, it's just not a particularly great one in terms of power to current free Tunisia Axis squads. The weapon and troop perks are much more powerful and fun to use than other premium squads in other campaigns. And it's unique enough and interesting enough from the free campaign squads to justify a top half score, but not completely unique in every single way, nor powerful enough to justify a higher score than that. It's also very fun, which is, the point at which, you buy things because they're fun, economist major, that's me. You can tell, I think. So, Bear in mind that this score is based upon the current campaign unlockables in the order that they are currently in as of 1st of January 2022. And if Gaijin or Darkflow change this up more closely to reflect the Allies' campaign weapon unlock order, this score might be changed to the upside. So keep it in mind that this score is, relative to the other weapons in the campaign. I'll add other premium squads to the leaderboard as I make reviews on them, so it's easy for all of you to compare my opinions. Tell me down below in the comments what you think of this San Marco regiment, and let me know there too which premium squad you want reviewed next, as I'm keen to thicken out my leaderboard to cover as many squads as possible for new players to help gauge my opinions better for them and hopefully to help them make up their mind about which one they want to get. That though is going to wrap up this premium squad review, and I hope you have enjoyed it and learned something new. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're targeting 1,000 subscribers so we can go for YouTube partner, so I'd really appreciate it, and you'll be updated with new videos to the channel as well if you do so. It's been an absolute pleasure ranting at you today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.